out this year. Well, one of them has already come out this year. Victory 7, the Bible-based card game that we started carrying early this year, is really, really cool. It is not growing super fast, but everybody who tries it really, really enjoys it. And of course, as a Christian myself, I was really interested in hearing about it. Because, like, I'm going to be honest about this, and maybe this seems really bad to say. Typically, faith-based games, whether it be board games or video games, they tend to just not be the greatest. Because a lot of times they're just not made by people who are like professional game designers or don't necessarily have the pedigree or the chops of like a lot of other people who design games. And it's more to them about the fact that they like, oh, I wanted to create this game with, that's themed around my faith, more so than like, I'm a game designer, designing games is my passion, I'm really good at it, here's a game. But Victory 7 is different from that. The mechanics are really, really good. It's sort of themed around like you're going to build a deck that utilizes virtuous and sort of villainous traits, and you're going to put kind of like good characters and evil characters in your deck, and your goal is to sort of light this lamp. It's sort of like an abstraction. You're lighting this lamp while you're getting in the way of your opponent, and whoever can get their lamp to 70 lumens first wins. And the deck building for it is phenomenal. You really have a lot of good freedom to kind of mix and match different cards and strategies in your deck at the cost of maybe your deck's consistency or ability to play really powerful cards in a color that you're only splashing. Sort of similar to Magic almost. But it does have it's a little bit more restrictive than Magic in terms of how much you can splash. And I also think that makes deck building choices really interesting. In any type of like strategy-based game, you don't want to give players too much freedom because then they just go for whatever is like actually the best. And then you don't really have any variety. But you also don't want to restrict them too much because then it doesn't feel like they have any way to kind of invent things in your game. But I think Victory 7 strikes a remarkable balance between sort of like what you can include in your deck and also the restrictions that are placed upon you that make for some really interesting decks. I've only gotten to play a couple games with a few people so far, but everyone for the most part has had really, really different decks all doing cool and powerful things. And it is just making me excited to get back in the lab and brew some more. The deck I'm playing right now is an Enoch deck, who was he was a character in Genesis who lived a really, really long life, but he never explicitly died. He just kind of, the Bible says that at one point, he just kind of, God took him at one point, and it wasn't really clear what happened to him. And it's cool because that's reflected in the mechanics of his card. Most characters in Victory 7, once you activate them, they go to your discard pile. But Enoch actually has a time limit on him, and you can activate him as many times as you can within that time limit, and he won't go to the discard pile until you do that. So I think it also strikes a great job of like, with the theme, the mechanical design of the cards too. The other card I want